Hi everyone. I want to read another extract from this book I've edited called Idries Shah Remembered. And the bit I'm going to read is written by me. Langton House, 1972. Fresh ears. In the early part of my childhood, I assumed everyone lived in big white houses, had fathers who never stopped typing or talking, and gardens where seasoned old classicists were out digging ditches, or where novelists were drying herbs in the potting sheds. Langton House was a magical island where we lived with a yellow Labrador, a second-hand tortoise, and oh so many cats. Our mother, who was half Parsi and half English, was a cat lover and a knitter as well. She knitted everything, even my dressing gown. While my mother knitted, my father typed. Rising long before dawn, he would clatter away at an old, dependable Triumph manual. Later, he invested in the latest IBM golf ball electric typewriter, the true love of his life. When he was typing, no one dared disturb him, even though the door to his study was always propped open with a chunk of quartz mined in the high Atlas Mountains of Morocco. From an early age, I used to sit outside the open door in the triangular patch of sunlight streaming in through an arched window giving on to the rose garden. At least one Siamese cat would be found there, curled up in the light. I would sit cross-legged beside it, listening to my father's index fingers hammering away. From time to time, he would pause to relight a Monte Cristo cigar or roll a fresh sheet of Croxley script into his beloved machine. Every couple of hours, he'd stop, grab a wad of papers, and stalk through the house, hunting for an audience. Our mother, who typically would be counting stitches or spinning wool, was a reluctant listener. At any rate, she no doubt had heard the material in an earlier draft. While my father liked an audience, any audience, he preferred ears that were fresh. Such ears tended to be found in the kitchen or up in the playroom, ears belonging to the throng of housekeepers, nannies, handymen, and hangers-on, all of whom were woven into the fabric of life at Langton House. On the rare occasions my father found no one to charm with the fresh material he had just produced, he would venture out the front door, hurrying past a ditch dug by Robert Graves, and along a gravel path he'd slink into the first cottage, Monte Cristo smoke streaming behind him like a vapor trail. In the office there, his ever-loyal secretary, Helena, kept guard. Although born Joan in her youth, she had studied as a pupil of the Russian mystic George Gurdjieff. He had known her as blonde number 24, and he encouraged his disciples to select names for themselves as part of a quest for their own identity. On Helena's desk, multiple telephones were arranged that rarely stopped ringing. All through the day, postmen dragged in sackfuls of letters mailed to Langton House from all corners of the earth. Couriers would frequently arrive too, bearing urgent telegrams. And then there were the fans, drawn to Langton House like moths to a flame. They were often in search of a guru, even though my father's published work urged anyone and everyone to vociferously shun gurus and to think for themselves. As the secretary, it fell to Helena to handle the phone calls, the incoming mail, and to deal with the uninvited who turned up day and night in their droves. Details of them and everything else were typed out on small slips of recycled paper by Helena, aka Gurdjieff's blonde number 24. Ferried into the main house, they were left in a certain spot on a bookshelf and eventually reached my father's attention between bouts of typing, talking, or delivering test readings of his work.